we are back, finally, after God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
We got a full house, rolling the dice. Double audio. Although it didn't come in on that, but I got double audioed. Excuse me. I am no boomer.
Yeah, I'm the resident boomer.
So, after the day was saved, you the military arrived. Well, not military, but some kind of governmental organization arrived to sort of get cleaning up, and you have acquired your man, Dr. Brewer. I nearly said Dr. Boomer.
That's his name now.
Dr. Boomer.
That's his code name. There we go.
Call him Dr. Boomer. So yeah, where was I? We and I suppose we'll want to move to another location to break down information. But there's a burning spaceship over there. Kind of. So I believe people have questions and answers.
I think most of us did our question asking last time, didn't we?
Not really. You mostly talked to Agent Smith. Dr. Brewer is...
We mostly tried to convince Agent Smith to pay us for exchange of the prisoner, which to keep as a slave.
Well, one of us did.
Hey, I put an
He said
effort
marble.
into that. I put an effort to capture him.
I thought the guy was dead.
No, just took the shit kicked out of him.
It's pretty fucked up. There's a difference. Not too much.
Wait, has Good Vibrations actually met Agent Smith yet?
No, he has.
I don't think many people have. So where do you want to go now? I assume you probably want to have a debrief with Dr. Brewer. Probably somewhere away from government agents.
He's got a lot of things we need to know.
Very well. Would you like to be moved to his house?
I mean, if that's where we're going, then yeah.
Dealer's choice.
Eh?
Let me just move on that. Yeah, I had to do that twice. Right. Got that. Okay, you've arrived back at Dr. Brewer's house, and well, you have your questions, and I provided answers. Tristan.
Yeah, no.
And I've also got the notes as well on standby in case you need to refer to anything additional that he might know. Although although my writing is terrible, you should be able to understand it.
I mean, if we can see it.
Say again?
I mean, if we can see it.
Oh, I have the notes written on paper.
Oh, there we go.
like I said, you probably need to ask him. The old boomer drink out. Which is appropriate.
Alright, well, assuming there's no one stopping us, Steel will head on in.
Tristan just posted something. Dr. Brewer enters and looks around, taking in the damage to the house and sizing up the damage. Yeah. There seems to be new damage in the living room, but apart from that, pretty much the place was torn up after you briefly fought against Rengar previously and his aliens. You couldn't really use too many spells, and you were caught mostly off guard. Of course, he says it's going to take a while to clear up. Something wrong with your mic today?
No, I'm just putting it down just so it's recorded, because a lot of the time we voice things but don't write it down. I can do both if you want.
That would probably be best.
Okay.
I mean, the log itself is kind of hard to use. It gets people in the mood.
Okay. Is the sheriff still in the dining room?
Well, yeah, I mean, you haven't done anything else with him.
We just fucking left him. Well, hold on a second. We've only been gone like an hour, haven't we?
Yeah, it hasn't been too long.
We put him in the dumb bitch corner so he can contemplate his actions.
Oh yeah, we. Shit. Is this still kidnapping?
Well, I mean, it was extortion.
Why is the sheriff in my dining room?
He did a bad.
Well, basically, the aliens mind-controlled citizens, and he agreed with it to some amount. So we took him with us because he was the only one who didn't exhibit who wasn't majorly mind-controlled.
So he was helping them of his own free will.
Yeah, probably something to do
Well,
with the kids.
in a literal sense, but not a metaphorical one.
Okay, I am not even going near him.
He thought he had no choice. I think he had choice. I think he picked the wrong choice. I'm still angry at him.
His guys flashed us, and we beat the shit out of them and then took him here. So, I mean, that's all I know about it.
Right, okay then, let's not beat around the bush. You came looking for me, clearly leading something. I owe you for that. How can I help you?
Obelisk thing, something about a god. I don't know. Cerulean just looks towards the others to better explain things. More specifically towards Manticore and Helena.
I was about to say, I don't know anything about this shit.
I'm just muscle.
I mean, we can. Well, I mean, I could bring everyone up to speed if you want to do that. I've got a pretty good memory of the plot.
Sure.
That's the most candid response ever. Just sure.
Well, no one else is saying anything.
That is true. Basically harkens back to the whole art museum, well, art auction attack in the museum. The Scarlet Order are trying to resurrect the god into the world. That's bad because, well, take over the world, institute probably a repressive theocracy, all that bad stuff. Let's see. Yes, there's a reason of why was at the why the artifact in question was at the art auction, or the set of scrolls which are currently sealed away. How to access them, who was buying, who was selling, generally who they are. Let's see what else. God, my writing is terrible. Yeah. Just ask away. Let's see.
So, what are we dealing with here? Weird, freaky aliens, huh?
And the Scarlet Order. Those guys seem be a bit threat.
Well, I've never heard of this Scarlet Order. Would you care to explain a little bit more about them? And goals, rank, where they're located?
Well, from my very limited knowledge, they appear to want to resurrect an ancient god of some sort.
Long
Not-
story short, it cannot go well.
Not resurrect. Okay, so consider for a moment that, just for the sake of this conversation, gods exist. Okay?
Well, they do exist, but go on.
Right. Now imagine that there was a concord that said gods could not come to the mortal plane. Now imagine that there were certain artifacts or rituals that could undo that concord and allow said god to come to this plane.
Mhm.
So basically, they're suing for their god to be able to come destroy the world or some shit. Don't tell me it's gonna be a court case. I'm better at punching stuff.
Not
That's
Why?
my line.
as a being that's akin to a god, there would be little, if anything, that could really stop him once he got to this plane. The only thing keeping him away is the concord.
Also, we believe the Scarlet Order were the guys who wrecked your living room.
Well, not entirely. That was the aliens from earlier.
Wait, aliens using 45 ACP and red arrows?
Yep. From what I saw, there was just aliens. I didn't see anybody with Scarlet Order. That might have come later.
Maybe they came and fought aliens who were still here after they took you.
Could be.
Or maybe a bunch of looters came in when they saw the house. Well, no, because then there's that guy.
There's still a TV.
Oh yeah, that weird box that talks.
What other information would you want to know about what's been going on, or what their next plans could be?
I mean, we're gonna have to do a lot of globe trotting to find the rest of what we're looking for. So I think knowing our enemies' travel plans and locations is probably a good thing in the long run.
Well, I know that. The only problem is, a lot of that information doesn't help. Just to fill you in, there are 2 targets for the Scarlet Order at the moment. One is the scroll that will itself be used to open the gateway to the mortal plane for Terios. The second one is an artifact known as the Phoenix Key, which is currently locked down in the US Federal Reserve.
I guess finding out if the reserve has been compromised or not would be a good step next, because it's not too far away.
What do you think they were?
I may have not included this piece of information, but you do. Yeah, I didn't include that. You know that the Federal Reserve does the artifact that's locked down in the Federal Reserve does have magical protection on it. It's not going to be that simple to retrieve it. And its own security would mean that if someone was to break in, they wouldn't have too much time before they get assaulted by a lot of guys, i.e. the security. So it's pretty secure, but it would require theoretically it would require an army. Or perhaps a skilled team. Yeah, that was a bit. I forgot to send to Tristan my notes.
Whoops.
It's really just a question of is it safe, and can it be made safer? Because someone knows where it is. More people know where it is. It's a case of being able to access it.
Okay, and where's the scroll, or do we not know that they take that already?
You have the scroll technically. You acquired it from the art auction.
Oh shit.
It does have an additional layer of protection on.
Oh, that's efficient.
Yes, you kind of had like a kind of riddle in which you had to fulfill certain conditions for it to be unlocked, and they sound very difficult.
Okay, so where is the scroll now?
I
And what are the
believe You left it at Manticore's apartment.
Okay, so that scroll needs to be on the move. No,
Well, didn't we secure it with that crazy Russian guy?
Crazy slab man. Yeah, it is secure, and no one knows really that Manticore lives there. So there's that advantage.
I mean, if you want extra protection, I could give it to Zader friend. You know, for the extra safe, hidden magical hovel that I live in.
Well, the thing about that magical hovel is, while it's currently in the sort of the magical underground side of the city, that place itself does not mean it's necessarily secure, because terrorist forces have been attacking or launching raids on stuff like arcane supply shops to try and gather information. Well, there's libraries.
Starting to feel like the secret world is going to end up very much out of the bag at this rate.
Yeah, it seems like it's at a bit of a breaking point.
Well, I mean, I'm already on national television, so shrug.
But for the most part, the day-to-day living of it is still quite secret.
Alright, so never mind that idea.
But you probably have been on TV.
Yeah, we had that interview.
Is there any other information you want about the Order? Oh,
What do you think they were trying to get from your house?
well, it's probably no secret in the magic world that I do have access to some more secretive tomes. Unfortunately, this isn't the place where I hold them.
The door upstairs with the thingy on it was knocked over.
Yes, the sigil. That was me attempting an escape, but I didn't quite finish the inscription.
okay. Is there any more information you're after?
What is the group mostly comprised of? Humans, Anchovies, aliens.
From a few scryers that I've managed to make deals with, best estimates I can give you is most of them appear human, but he does have some much stronger lieutenants that aren't necessarily entirely human. The greatest risk from Terios is that he can resurrect his own soldiers. So a war of attrition is not exactly the way to go.
All right.
So persistent threat.
Yes, and one that can appear almost anywhere.
Okay, define the almost. Where can't he appear?
Well, areas that have magical wardings are most likely to be the areas that are safe. Terios' soldiers and Terios himself were able to open doorways from his own demi-plane into ours that he can disgorge soldiers from. So, with enough preparation, they could mount a full-fledged assault in a matter of minutes.
So they don't have any physical base?
They
in-
have been known to take physical bases, however, those are merely staging points or areas of strategic importance.
Alright.
Is there any clue as to where they're located or where they would operate from?
Not an easy question to answer. As I said, anywhere that they deem strategically important would be a target. So any Arcanum buildings that have knowledge or supplies they might want are likely places where they might try and take and hold. Other than that, anywhere near where they intend to mount an assault.
If we ambush a staging area, can we get into his demi-plane from there, or is it just a one-way ticket?
If the gateway is still open, then potentially. However, you're talking about going into his own demi-plane, an area where, for all intents and purposes, he decides the rules.
No, I mean, the best defense is a good option.
Not when your offense leads you into the mouth of 10,000 soldiers.
Yeah, I mean, you know, why wait for him to come to us when we can go to him? And would he expect it?
You wouldn't need to expect it. No sane person is going to assault the lair of a god.
Yeah, let's not exaggerate here. There are only a few gods, and like I've never heard of this.
From behind. From behind Dr. Brewer. Shalka's in the corridor and she says, "What would it take to kill a god?"
Aside from another god, maybe you could, I don't know, find a way to fundamentally change aspects of his realm. Possibly find out how he garnered his power and see if there's any way to reverse it.
I feel like prevention is a better solution than trying to combat it after it's here.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't stabbing work?
As much as I agree, I also have to warn you that prevention will only last so long. So long as Tolerian is able to pull soldiers to his cause, he will be an omnipresent threat.
Right, but if we bring them the head of their so-called god, wouldn't that, demotivate them to?
Again, considering you could even achieve such a feat.
I believe in myself. I believe Mars will guarantee us victory. If not, there's always Jupiter. We have some friends on our side. At least I do.
And the boys.
Yo, come on, we're gonna beat the shit out of this god.
Me and the boys knocking Tellurian's door.
Terios.
Terrio, sorry. Open up, you fucking nerd.
The boomers are back. Get the fuck out of here.
Play some boomers.
Let's show you what real gods are made of.
But yeah, it does seem like we'll probably need to research more on how we can kill a god. If only there were some immortal weapons lying around.
I'm a weapon. And last I checked, I can't die. Does that count?
Oh, shrug that.
Well, I can get started on researching immortal weapons for you. It might take me some time though. I have a lot of books that I'll have to check through.
We need some means to study and prepare and do this kind of thing as we travel, because we're doubtlessly going to be traveling a lot.
Hmm. Good point. Is there anything else you can provide? Oh, what was that? Oh. He starts, Dr. Brewer starts drawing an inscription on a nearby door with chalk.
Okay. I'd use my analysis skill to try and work out what it is, but I don't think I can analyze magic.
You could probably use the knowledge of history and religion to determine what symbolism he's using to summon what kind of spirit.
You can roll it.
Though I don't think you have. I don't think you have that kind of knowledge because you're a chemistry teacher, aren't you?
Physics, apparently.
Sorry, physics.
Or science teacher in general.
I don't know if they have specialized science classes in America or if it's
I
generalized.
do, but I mean, he gets science teachers. But certainly, you can throw some dice and try and analyze it.
Nice. I'm muting again.
Throw some dice. You're not gonna roll?
Oh, well, yeah, I'll give it a go.
But you can throw some dice.
Gotta catch these
See.
dice.
So I'll be using my,
We analyze.
analyze.
Physics. Well, you could check it for physical phenomena.
I'll be analyzing it with my, PDA thing, and it scans stuff based on its, like, sort of, combat abilities. If this is, like, an actual power that has combat stats, like, barrier or whatever,
No,
this
it's not one of
might be
those.
able to. Okay, well then, who knows what information I might get, but I'll still roll. Yeah. Considering it's only a tech scanner for combat stuff, that's probably not good enough, but
Yeah, it's got you can tell it's got nothing to do with combat specifically.
yeah.
You can see there's some kind of energy readings of whatever it is doing. If what are you doing?
I'll explain in a moment.
Okay,
Although you should really know because you've got access to the powers.
I do, but I'm not saying. Well, I suppose I could. I generally know what it is. It is a teleport. Kind of. Well, it is a teleport.
Is it a gate?
It is a gate.
Nerdism wins. Okay, why didn't that work? Oh, there it is. Comes.
Yeah, I'll read it. I'll read what Tristan posted. After about a few minutes of scribing and talking under his breath, Dr. Brewer finishes the inscription and places his hands on the center. The inscription flares and disappears as the door loudly clicks.
Ah, that should say, and he says, this is probably quicker.
So it was an unlocking spell.
He opened a wormhole, basically.
It is one of those doors from the Matrix.
Life has many doors, Ed boy.
Aha.
Life has many doors, Ed boy.
There you go.
Dr. Brewer opens the door to what appears to be a vast library. 2 ornate tables in the center. But I assume he did that to his thingy door. What's it called? Door for a cupboard under the stairs.
Yeah. So, that shouldn't say London, that should say England.
Well,
So, nobody minds a complete ignorance of common physics, do they? If not, welcome to England.
I'm pretty sure Cerulean doesn't follow common physics just by existing.
Either way, it would be probably coming to dawn outside. With such a vast repository of information, you should probably be able to find whatever you would need. Or failing that, you could probably Google it. If there's a Google spell.
1 second.
And does it autocomplete?
Well, if no one's gonna go, then I'll go first. He just runs through the portal.
just full on run.
Well, no, not run, but he
mean-
makes a decent pace.
From what I know of it, it's not really like a glimmering portal. It's just the door is open, and beyond the door is somehow of a large library in London, England.
Okay.
You keep saying England. What is England?
England is my city.
Thanks, great. Where is that? Off of what coast? Like, what Where is this place? I don't know where you're sending me.
I believe that you would have known it as Bretonia.
Oh, Britannia.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah. I'm going back to that hellhole. Well, I hope the people there have moved out of their mud huts, and I'll walk through.
Absolute
Lay
savage.
uncultured savages have arrived.
To be fair though, I don't like. At least it's in Scotland. Then it'd be like, well, it hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, exactly. If it's in Caledonia, who gives a shit?
Fuck that place. We built a wall.
We did build a fucking wall.
I actually built 3 walls.
Gotta build more walls.
We built bigger walls.
Those damn Scotsmen out.
See, Rome, best ideas, best empire. Bring back Rome.
Well, they've already tried to do that twice and it didn't end well.
Yeah, that's because they didn't have Romans. I'll succeed this time. It's gonna start with a conquest of Gaul.
Rome was a pretty mad lad place. For
It's fucking
instance,
great.
when politicians promised stuff, they had to pay for it out of their own pocket.
Yeah. Fucking Caligula made a horse's ass his advisor. The rest of the horse was just means of transportation. There's what's his name, that transgender emperor.
I looked him up yesterday. His name is ridiculously difficult to pronounce.
Honestly,
Or rather, it's difficult to remember.
Yeah, pretty much
it's like
most.
it's like Eris.
Elagabalus.
Pretty much all Romans were
Yeah,
total
Elagabalus.
mad lads.
Yeah.
His real name was Marcus Aurelius Antonius. Antoninus Augustus.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's like Pope John. You know, it's like, this is your name appointed to you.
Yeah, but like Elagabalus was the name of a god that it was assigned to him
Yeah.
after his death. Like in life, he was never
Yeah.
called that.
Yeah, no, he was never called that, but it's because he was I believe he was the high priest of her cult, and he tried making her her cult an official one when he was emperor.
I don't remember.
He's a fucking interesting story.
I know that's a Syrian sun god.
Yeah, was he? Was the
Elagabalus was a Syrian sun god that was
Anyway.
adopted into the Roman Empire because they adopted every single fucking god they came across.
Well,
This is Phoenician gods. No, sorry, no, not Phoenicians. Etruscan gods. No, there are gods. Greek gods. No, there are gods.
well, yes, they are gods. Your backwards just didn't understand it. Let us enlighten you as to the error of your ways. Make you Roman.
Big brain
The
Romans.
right thing. Let's bring you into the winning team.
Like, yeah, how's that working out for you?
Well, I mean, it was working out, and then they stabbed a few people.
Then they stopped naturalizing new recruits and they just hired them instead.
And we start blasting.
So then I started blasting.
Yeah. All right, so we're in England now.
Yes. Do.
That better not be a Doctor Who jingle.
No.
Good.
For some reason, you hear the British national anthem playing in the background.
Yeah, what's that disgusting noise? Ugh.
I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah, okay, good. Because it's like, what is that? Spooky music? Ugh. That's not music.
You're so. I think you're such a boomer at this rate. Even boomers are like, wow, okay, boomer.
That's what I'm fucking going for.
Old man yells at clouds.
old man yells at anything not vaguely brown. It has to be just vaguely. Too dark, and I start yelling louder.
So what was your plan, Dr. Brewer?
Well, first off, once everybody's in, and we've had a bit more time to discuss, I have an item I need to give to Helena in order to expedite her whole idea of we need to be able to get around quickly.
Oh.
I'll be happy to hear it.
This isn't the Christmas episode yet.
No. Oh my.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You mean Saturnalia episode? Right?
Ah. Christmas is on a Wednesday.
What?
Let's see.
You don't mind your residence being used as a staging post, do you, Helena?
I suppose not. Why do you ask?
Give me a moment, I need to go make something.
Don't keep me in suspense too long. Also, be right back a sec.
He's just whipping something up. But yeah. But yes, Shalka did say to Marble Legionary, like, I mean, he's like, well, if I recall Earth history correctly, this country, what you formerly call Britannia, conquered most of the world.
That doesn't sound right.
They conquered a lot more than you guys.
No, impossible. We conquered the whole world.
No. You conquered a lot more.
That sounds like lies and slander, and I refuse to accept it.
And then they basically was like, oh, well, we can't really manage this big empire too much. How about independence for people?
See,
that's where the Commonwealth comes from.
See, that I can believe, because
the United States was also an English colony. And then they had a war. And now they're best friends.
this doesn't make any sense.
Lucky Cerulean doesn't know anything about this.
You expect me to believe that these barbarians in the hills conquered anything outside of their pathetic little island? Man. That sounds like a good comedy. I would definitely watch that being performed.
They were also instrumental in winning the two world wars, which saw greater battles than anything that, well, I've ever heard of before, or probably you've ever heard of before. There's a reason why they're called world wars.
I don't know, man. Yeah, well, if you're talking about the two Punic wars, yeah, those. It was the entirety of those pathetic, what the hell? Oh, shit. Oh my god, I'm forgetting the other side of the Punic Wars.
He's like, well, let's put this in context.
Carthage, yeah, those filthy Carthaginians. Yeah, between us and those filthy Carthaginians, yeah, those are.
Well, you guys got outsmarted by elephants.
You shut your damn dirty whorish mouth. It was impossible for him to do that, and somehow he did. But we were burning Carthage by the time he came over. What he managed to do to the north of glorious Rome, we gave back 100 times over. That the Carthaginians had to pull him back. He might have had a little romp on those, what do you call them? Elephants? Ugh. Those giant gray boxes of his, but we won.
And then Rome fell. The end.
But yeah,
and I will bring it back.
the Second World War had like tens of millions of people die.
There
You probably
can't be
lost like, I don't know, a couple of 100,000 at most. Probably even less.
Yeah, because we're so good.
You know, the Second World War was so impactful. People are still dying to the aftermath of it to this day. Mines
Wow.
explode frequently.
The hell's a mine? Wait, how do mines explode? You're pulling stuff out of the ground.
No, it's a landmine. It's a trap that's placed
Yeah,
on the floor that
but-
explodes.
You believe there are water mines?
No, they're landmines.
Yes, that's where mines are supposed to. You go in the ground.
No. Okay, they're traps that are placed in the ground, so if you
Right.
walk on them, they explode. It's a different kind of mine.
That sounds weird and dumb.
There's
Well,
also an exploded ordnance as well.
ordnance.
Yeah, you know what a bomb is?
Okay, you're talking that weird made-up language again. Just okay, enough.
You know thing go boom when we were fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those weird flashes.
ordinance goes boom, but it doesn't flash. It hurts a lot.
I don't know.
You know,
this
it's
is
like a
new.
catapult, only the thing that lands on the ground shatters into a million pieces, hurting
well-
everything around it.
Mm.
I mean, we kind of had that.
Yes, but this is a range of miles instead of hundreds of.
Don't even get started by the nuclear bombs.
Alright, I'm back.
What the
back.
hell's wrong with you people? Ugh. Enough of this. Enough of this weird magic shit.
Okay.
Oh, believe me, killing's gotten a lot more effective when you were gone. I can
Oh,
tell you
no.
all about it.
I don't know. When I pull out my sword, this is pretty effective.
Yes, but that's limited by how many people you can cut down in a minute. Dropping a single bomb is just how many you can fire, and we can fire a lot of them.
Yeah, but if you're not there to gauge your opponent in audible combat, is it really worth it?
Yeah?
No, because then you don't see the light drain from their eyes. They don't understand that you've beaten them.
Oh, but you can check out the crater later.
Yeah, but if there's no trophies, what's the point?
I mean, there's probably some bits you can pick up.
Bits aren't.
Cerulean doesn't even need to breathe, and she just sighed.
Right. So, anyway, after going over to a nearby shelf and removing some items from several jars, Dr. Brewer begins to weave them together into something that looks a bit like a dream catcher before handing it to Helena.
Okay.
Hang that above a door in your house, preferably not a bedroom, and I'll be able to use a spell to open that door from almost anywhere that I can get access to a door.
Okay, she's gonna look at the Dreamcatcher, then back at him, and then back at it again, and just say, "Am I the only person in this group who isn't magical now?"
I mean,
I am not magic.
I'm pretty analogous.
I'm pretty sure I'm not magical.
Doc says, well,
Well,
technically
well-
I'm not.
Well, hold on a second. Am I magical if I came from hell? Does that make me magical?
You are a zombie.
Made out of fucking stone.
Yeah. I mean, that's weird, but is that magic? I mean, stone's pretty natural.
There's some bullshit going on.
People made of stone is not natural. Humans being made of stone is not natural.
Well, I'm Roman.
What about that Rocky disease?
You are human. That is.
No, I'm more than human.
Fuck off.
Wait, you're a woman? I thought you were a man.
women.
I need to make
Hello.
a boomer marble legionary meme.
Keep doing it. It's gonna be great.
Back in my day,
Well, then again, no, I wouldn't say that because women did have like, because you had the women of the house.
well, you know, like most people, women couldn't vote.
Yeah, but
Nope. Yeah, nobody could.
assassinate people when
People
they
could vote.
done in
Yeah, the Senate voted. That's about it.
I am the Senate.
Yeah, women had the whatchamacallit.
They usually dealt with household things, which were very
Yeah, but
They had financial power. They dealt with
financial and cultural. And
yeah,
cultural.
they managed the slaves and the house's finances and decided who, where, and how would teach the children and stuff like that. They basically controlled everything that wasn't.
Everything domestic.
Yeah, they were very administrative in the family, though. Like, if they may not decide like who we're gonna go to war with, but they were definitely gonna decide who you're gonna hire as a slave and who you're gonna buy as a slave, and who you're gonna. Actually, I think slaves did get an allowance to buy their own shit.
It was to buy their own shit. It's like, here, go to market. Here's some money. But
it's
no,
more
I
like-
think there were a few. Well, no, because then you also have.
I mean, more like to buy
gladiators.
yourself some fucking clothes.
But then you also had gladiators who were slaves that did get paid. as well.
Most gladiators weren't slaves, though.
A good portion were.
Most of them were just like people who wanted to get rich and famous,
Mhm.
because gladiators were paid. That was the main draw.
There's an excellent Lindy Page video about gladiators that's about 2 hours long.
Fucking love them.
He should make a video about charioteers.
He's doing
Probably will.
he's doing a visual novel on the Punic.
You mean a
Yeah, I
comic?
know.
He's already finished that.
You mean a comic book?
It's a comic book that's got the plot as long as a novel, so it's a comic novel. You can't say it's one or the other. It's both.
Still a comic
Visual
book.
novels. Fuck you.
Anyway, we're getting
Yeah.
off topic here. Super off topic.
Were we ever on topic?
No.
I know that Rome is amazing. Don't want to stop talking about it, but I think we have a game.
It's true. we can't turn into a history podcast yet.
Man, this is so great.
Mm,
Everything's about me.
Except when it's not.
Because I remember,
Yeah, but those
just,
are bad parts.
just an aside, I remember a slave could buy their freedom, and that's
Yeah,
why I was saying
kind
that.
of like. Yeah, it's weird, but you could do. I'm pretty sure. Same thing in Greece. Because you could sell yourself into slavery to work off debts, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually common in ancient times. It's even mentioned in the Bible, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pay that. Pay that. Oh, it's not with your slave.
so Helena was given a dream catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm told this is totally legit.
It's important. Don't lose it.
Hmm.
Is there anything else Dr. Brewer wants to give out? Maybe a library card?
Probably just make sure that people are able to get in touch with him if they have any questions.
Oh yeah, can I get one of those weird things that you guys talk that like apparently other people can hear from? It was those weird metal squares, the tiny ones.
You mean a mobile phone?
Yeah, that weird thing that you keep talking about. Can I get one of those?
Do you have any money?
I mean, shit. I think I left my coin purse at home. What a shit.
Imagine being poor.
One moment.
Yeah, I can hook you. I can get you hooked up with a phone. I know what the good ones are. I even helped my dad with it once. He's such a boomer,
Oh, great.
like you. Except not as boomery.
So it's not as great.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with being the superior boomer. Whatever that means.
It's a compliment.
Okay, great. As it should be.
So when people say "okay, boomer" to him, he's gonna be like,
It's, like, yes,
you.
you should.
"Thank you for complimenting me."
Sing my praises, peasant.
It's pleb.
Yeah.
I mean, even a peasant would have a coin purse.
I'm going into battle. I'm not gonna carry coinage on me. It's dumb.
PCB phone.
Seriously, they have them and they're like full-on work phones. They're practically indestructible.
It's kind of Nokia phone. Here you go. He's just like, just can't break it.
Oh, cool. So, like, what do I do? And I just push the button. I just start pushing buttons, but I don't know how hard. So probably I go through it. Ah, shit.
No, because it's like I said, it's like a JCB phone, which is practically indestructible.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just. Yeah, I was about to link one of those.
I mean, I'm sure he doesn't like just use his full strength with normal everyday objects.
No. Oh, it's one of those. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably gonna be. But it's like I don't know how much force to use, right? So I'm gonna keep pressing. It's like, okay, when do I stop?
Yeah, Shanka's like, I'll teach you how to use it on the way back.
Okay, perf.
Does it have any game apps? That is the question.
Not at the moment.
They
Well, I
can
mean, I
be
don't need that for
downloaded.
game. I don't need that for games. I have my own game.
He's got-
So those come around.
He just gets hopelessly addicted to Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
It's so colourful.
Smash.
Or maybe some game about raiding that everyone keeps advertising, and I'm just like, fuck off. Speaking of which, our next stream will be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get a fucking ticket to Britbong. I'm gonna kick you.
Better get some of that sponsorship cash.
If you're
No.
If
This
you're gonna
stream is
sponsor
sponsored by G Fuel.
Ooh, that's a boomer thing to do.
Actually, no, boomer thing would be, this stream is sponsored by Monster Energy Ultra.
Zero.
No. This stream is sponsored by Doritos and Mountain Dew.
That'd be some good shit. That's some good S word.
So yeah, we're in Britannia. What now? Where are we going?
So, as I've just said,
Hmm.
as much as I've told you, it doesn't seem enough for the help you've given, but I can provide financial aid if necessary.
Well, we did save you. And
Well,
we did prevent those people from trashing your house. They're awful people. That totally
Right.
wasn't us.
While you get paid, where's the list of places we had to go? So I know one of them was on the moon. I don't remember the others.
Yeah. Again, because she has editing memory, I could probably tell you. Oh, he has it noted on the phone. But it's to find. Oh, this is me running through the first list. To find the first key, you must look in the first towering city of the New World. To find the second key, you must bear onto your shoulders the weight of the world. To find the third key, you must walk the first steps not of this world. To find the fourth key, you must be a step behind everyone else in the world.
So, everyone got that?
So we have to travel to different. I mean, one's probably a reference to Atlas. So,
The weight of the world on your shoulders is a reference to Atlas.
Yeah.
The first city of the new world, you said?
First towering city. First
First-
skyscraper, I think.
So would that have been New York with the thingy building?
Thingy.
I can't remember the
I
name
love
of
that
it.
word. I love that word. You know which one? Thingy.
Okay, hold
Nah,
on a
nah,
second.
What's it called?
I'm sure Shalka can look it up on her phone.
You know, that's insulting to a Zoomer like her.
She's not 12.
So we have to go to the garden.
Empire State Building.
Well, hold on a second. For the second key, we need to go to the Garden of Hesperides. From the.
Can we have a handout of these guys, the things?
Yeah, sure. I can make one of those.
Okay. Anyway,
Thank you.
how much? Who wanted the money?
The Roman wanted the money.
Okay, how much does the Roman want?
I think he wants to buy a house.
$10 is a lot of money.
Please. I know denumerations. 10 is not nearly. Let's go with 20 now. We can figure it out later. I'm just trying to think back to the labors of Heracles, so that where the world went.
Mountains of Atlas. Though
Oh,
Cerulean
garden.
doesn't know that.
I mean, the Garden of Hesperides. I
Ah.
believe that's south of Egypt. Or maybe north of Egypt.
Now, I think in the Bronze Age, there was a different climate, so there was more lush lands. So it could be that whatever we're looking for is like priced down, so it's not gardening anymore.
Impossible.
Doctor's like, could it refer to pressure?
No, let's
Like a
just
cave?
get. No, let's just find the old man of the sea. He'll definitely.
Hmm.
Oh boy. This is gonna be great.
Oh boy, I love scavengerants.
Oh boy, I love following in the steps of my hero.
It is added, the riddle of the scroll. Yeah, like the way that it's designed to be either hard to figure out or hard to do, or perhaps both. I think the first one's the easiest.
Yeah.
Well, first one I'm pretty sure is the Empire State Building. The first towering city of New World is New York because of the Empire State Building. Because at the time it was built, I'm pretty sure that was the highest tower.
Yeah, it was soon eclipsed.
Yeah, but it was the first towering city of the New World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Second key, you must bear onto your shoulders the weight of the world. There's an Atlas statue somewhere.
Yeah,
In-
established that before.
Third key, must walk the third steps not of this world.
Moon.
The moon. Fourth key, you must be a step behind everyone else in the world.
Saudi Arabia.
International Dateline. What's the Saudi Arabia they have to do with anything? I do
You
not get it.
must be behind a step behind everyone.
Oh no, America. That's a step behind.
Yeah, that's only one step. Saudi Arabia is like several.
Current year, guys.
No, it's current year plus 4.
Hmm. Fucking time zones.
And I'm pretty sure the last riddle is like that island that's right behind the international date line or whatever. So it's the last place. Switch over or whatever.
Well, no point in waiting around. Let's.
New York!
Oh, turn. The city. The shitty.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I still think.
Well,
the
I will
second one in Egypt.
re-up. I will recast the spell and reopen the door back into the original house.
How many places can you go? How many doors do you have?
With the one I just gave Helena, that will be 4.
Where are the other ones?
Well, there's here, the house we're returning to, and then the other is my office at work.
Where's your work? What city?
I work as a university lecturer.
Oh, I think I see. Okay, let's go back to town name first.
Let's go back to insert city here.
Richbrook.
Richbrook, thank you.
Yes, the entirely real town. What, I mean, DC as Metropolis. I know damn sure that's not real. Or the mythical city of Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh no, I heard
Or-
weird coming out.
Or the fairy tale known as Detroit.
The fairy tale.
It is known as...
Yes.
Okay, cautionary tale.
Yes, that's what I meant. It's one of those, dark, dreary horror places where the hero must go and face many horrors.
Well, at least Mordor's real.
Yeah, I live there.
So, once you return, I guess there's not much else to do apart from retire for the night and begin the journey home.
Just out of curiosity, do I feel any different when I walk through the portal? Like, does it feel familiar to me?
No,
Okay.
Does it feel funky?
you don't have any kind of weird tingly feeling.
Okay.
Not even down there?
No. Any kind of feeling that you probably would have would probably come from if you ate something funny for lunch.
Yeah. Eat. Sure.
Well, we all know you exist purely off fortified wine.
I mean, I only do that because it's
I eat the sun.
'cause it's-
I'm the most metal one here.
I mean, I only to venerate the. I don't really eat myself.
We all know you're really just a solar panel, Cerulean.
That's literally kind of true. My wings are solar panels.
But out and just absorb-
Combined with solar fails. What? Solar.
Sails.
Solar sails. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
So, so heading back, is there any? Well, you would be heading back the next day. Is there anything else you want to take care of?
I got
See
nothing.
to that the police chief is properly.
And safe?
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, safe, but just like make sure he's like prosecuted for turning everyone to the aliens.
Yeah, this is a full investigation going on by secret, not secret government agency. Government agency.
Let's just call them Vigil.
Yes.
Types furiously.
Indeed. So, anything you want to take care of on the way back, or just everyone yeets back to the city?
I'm fine with going back to the city.
Yeah, let's go back to the city.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeetus Maximus. After a
Okay.
length,
I had an engagement.
well, you of course were able to attend it,
Okay.
and you had a lovely dinner.
Okay.
Yay.
And now we go. Dun-dun-dun.
After a lengthy journey back, and with less breakdowns, you once again smell the fetid, garbagey air of New York. Which is not an insult, mind you, it generally smells of garbage.
He's just been there.
Yeah, I've fucking been. It's the first
I mean, you just got back.
I've been back for a while. I only went in like June. But the first thing
Several-
at the airport was just like, smells like trash.
Several angry New Yorkers would like to talk to you.
No, they'd probably say, yeah, it does smell of trash. You like leave for like a day or two, you come back, you're like, that smell.
It's
You
like
get used to it.
you leave, and it's like, oh boy, finally some fresh air.
Yeah. I had to wait till
At least they get rid of the trash.
Oh yeah, it's a big city.
Remember
There's
Yeah, remember that time that they didn't?
there's literally trash bags on the street all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
No, I don't doubt it. At least Montreal isn't
Well,
that bad.
That in a big city would generate a lot of trash. Anyway, when you return, is there anything in the city that you want to do? Also,
Do not have any plans now.
No.
nobody else? Excellent. I'll roll with this. When when Helena gets back to her house
Yeah.
and opens the door, she finds that the place has actually been turned over.
Okay, well, she's immediately going to get her tablet out and start scanning for evidence of what the fuck is going on.
Rather than try to get her armor on.
Well,
There's no one
can't hear
there.
any signs of anyone in there right now. So she's more intent on just finding out what's going on. So,
Okay.
using my forensics. Oh, hell yeah!
Damn, boy.
Well, that's actually pretty good because it can actually give you some decent information. You run around
Damn, boy.
You run around with a fine-tooth comb over the house, and you're kind of amazed at how well it seems to have been searched thoroughly, as if someone was looking for something. But not only that, you find that any kind of, like, say, footprints or indentations are incredibly light. As in, like, they're almost traceless. Almost, mind you. So, normally you'd assume that someone walking around would be, you know, they would leave more of like an impression. But from what you found, that's not the case.
It's fucking elves. It's Legolas.
Yeah, elves.
I'm angry about elves.
I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Disappointed that they still exist.
Fucking life is. Every time.
Filthy fucking life stuff.
Did you hear about the Thalmor?
If you want, I can go off on elves.
Have you heard about the High Elves?
Right, so what I'd then do is I would call up the rest of the team and communicate to them what's happened.
I assume by this point as well, Marble Legionary would know how to use a phone and WhatsApp.
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
think it would have instructed him at least the basics.
Right, I press this button, and the weird sheep thing talks. Cool.
It is a remote communication tablet.
Yeah, I still don't understand any of this, but you guys kept having a lot of fun with it.
But yeah, so
I get it.
I'd contact the group and share my findings with them.
Have they taken anything?
Can you summarize what it was again, quickly?
Well, from what you can find, that any kind of like impressions of them walking around as finding it has been very hard to kind of like categorize. Like you can't really tell like, you know, information like the weight of the person
Right.
or specifically
Can I
like
tell
the
what
gait.
they've taken? Can I tell what they've taken at least?
From what you can tell, nothing.
Okay.
They've just simply checked everywhere. And the sort of bloop bloop, good vibrations has asked, do you think they came for the scroll? Which, fortunately, it wasn't there.
Have I managed to get back to the apartment yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you would
Okay.
have probably gone back by now.
And then, has that been turned over yet?
No,
Is DJ Bliatman still there?
yes, Suki Biatman is there. But there's also another guest. Maybe
Oh
on you?
no.
Is it the old man?
No.
It's a trap.
It's actually Satyr, but he's not exactly wearing a suit. He's wearing like a sort of hoodie in combination with his mask.
No pants.
Of course, he's wearing pants.
He's a satyr. Why would he wear pants?
No, his code name is Satyr.
Oh.
They all have code names based on mythical monsters.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about my guy.
No. He's, of course he
Also, it's not a Harpsong character. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was too hard. It was too easy a target. I'm sorry.
Shots fired. Yeah, they're both there, and Bow's, well, you know, nothing's been taken. But we'll get round to that in a little bit.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do, Harp?
Beyond that, no. I feel like my part in this is done, and I can leave it in the hands of the group to decide what to do next.
Probably just clean up then.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately one of the side effects of having public identity.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Manticore's scene kind of takes priority now.
Oh, okay. We'll shift right
Yeah.
into that. There's,
Okay.
It just,
totally,
it just feels like the next thing to go to. Well,
That's a good point, that. Yeah, in Manticore's apartment, he's just kind of. He seems quite relaxed. Satyr seems kind of relaxed. Obviously, him and Bow were talking about something. And Bao looks up to you and he goes, "Ah, welcome back. How was the road trip?"
A little messy. I'll give you the details over time.
Ah, I forgot to say, we have an old friend. Yeah, pats Satyr on the back rather aggressively, and he just kind of, he's like,
Yes, the mystery man himself.
He's like, "I'm so sorry." He's like, "I'm so sorry for dropping in on you."
Well, ain't exactly my place, so
Looks around, he's like, "Yeah, you'd probably keep it a bit cleaner." He's like, Bao just laughs. He's like, "See, this guy, he always knows how to get a crowd going."
I guess you're not just here for an idle chat.
He's like, oh no. How's your hobby going along?
Restrictive. Saw you a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of weeks back now. Not my finest work. Saw you were dealing with the goat boy.
The goat? Oh, you mean Baphomet.
Yeah.
His skill set is useful though.
Imagine.
But a total clown. I don't enjoy working with him. Even if it is for the occasional piece of hardware. And I suppose it's a little ironic, considering my code name.
I never really thought about that.
Oh, trust me, he's brought it up at least twice. But anyway, the reason why I'm here is more of an opportunity.
I really shouldn't be asking this, but a good or a bad opportunity.
Depends on how you look at it.
Alright, spill it.
I have a job coming up, and it's probably going to be the most lucrative score yet. And I'm just wanting to know, considering your good reputation, can I count on you? And if not, will you stay out of my way?
Look, I don't call the shots here. I just go wherever the group says we're going.
But I wouldn't want to encounter them. We already encountered one of them. And we just barely managed to get away from just one of you. Let's just say I want to ensure that all contingencies are made. So I'm asking you if you would help me one way or another as old friends. Because I would rather have this job be successful and my crew get out.
I don't even think I want to know where you're doing this job, because that just makes this whole thing entirely more complicated.
Well, if you're not interested, I won't tell you. But rest assured,
Well,
you'll know it's me when it happens.
Well, let's just put it this way. If your guys get in and out quiet enough and don't find out until after it's done, it'll be easier for me.
I'm afraid it will be quiet. That is why I require distraction. Or at least something else. Or you to be focused elsewhere. Can you do that? Or will we have to maybe, unfortunately, meet? To which I can say, I won't be going easy on your friends. It's a fight for survival. And we're going to have to do everything we can.
Survival. That's what they call it, paycheck nowadays.
Different rules of nature.
Fight for survival, how?
Well, it is a loud job. That is all I'm saying. So you will probably most likely respond to it.
No promises, but there's one thing I want to know.
Shoot. I know that much.
Are you doing this job for your own behalf, or are you doing it on somebody else's?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Are you doing this job on your own behalf, or are you doing it for somebody else?
When you say job,
Hmm?
like, what do you mean by job?
He's Sata's basically propositioning him, saying like, look, I'm looking for help. Can you help me despite your good reputation, because it's going to be pretty criminal, or can you at least, you know, keep your friends off my back while I get it done? Basically
To
what he's
which,
asking.
I'd
To which-
rather not do anything that could sacrifice my reputation.
Well, it's
this,
This, yeah.
this is the thing. This is me he's talking to, not you guys.
Yeah.
So
We're
this
not
is
here, Harp.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
then why was someone asking me then? That's
No
why.
one was asking you anything.
well, that's weird.
Yeah, no one asked you, dude.
Okay,
You
so-
misheard. You misheard.
so
I guess
so yeah. That's the one question that I asked him. Is he doing this job on his own behalf, or is he doing it on somebody else's behalf?
He cocks his head quizzically, like he's like, it's a bit of, like, yeah, he just you can tell he's a bit like, like, if does it matter?
Let's just say that current revelations have been, shall we say, apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic, huh?
Yeah.
See. But you've got it covered though, right?
Answer my question, and I'll see what I can do.
It's a personal job, purely for profit. Would you like to do a perception check against it to try and be like, is he lying to me?
Let me see if I have anything that's good enough.
I'll probably just say an intelligence roll. Actually, you probably get some.
Well, you don't have like sense motive.
I think there's something like, I think it's probably just conversation where you can do that, or like.
Not great for either of those, so
You can
it's
still
just
make a
gonna be a. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a Hail Mary roll probably. Yeah, so I probably believe him.
Seems truthful.
Very convincing arguments.
Well, he's actually.
So
Well, Tristan knows that he's actually quite the diplomat.
Hmm.
There's a way with words.
So I just say, look, at the moment, you're still pretty much under the radar with the rest of the group. They don't know who you are. If you can get Goat Boy to be noisy at the same time, they'll probably be more interested in going to deal with him than you.
Is that that's a good idea. Great.
Don't
idea.
don't like saying it, but that's the truth.
Yes, now that I see it. If I could get him to cause some havoc at the other side of town, it'll take you too long to get to us. I like it. He gets up and he's like, him and Barrel basically share like a sort of like pat hug, sort of like a bro hug, and then well, I'll be seeing you guys. He comes up to you. What do you do?
Guess I'll extend my hand for the handshake.
Yeah, he'll take it
Got-
and
Gotta have some sort of camaraderie.
slap the other side of the hand. Is like, says like, and then he says rather quietly to you, I don't care why you're doing this. Is this some kind of big work, or is it genuine?
Let's just say there's a puppet master pulling the strings.
Like, see, we could try it. We could. Why not call upon everyone else? Try and find this guy, kill him.
Oh, I know who he is, but it's what he has.
Like, I'm sorry to hear that. If you ever need help, remember, you've got your brothers and sisters out there, willing to die for you if need be.
Yeah, that's the problem though. We never really were good at dying.
Well, it's happened. Remember what happened after what happened in the Middle East. He kind of looks away and then heads to the door. He does say though, I'll look into a little bit of who's been pulling your strings. Or at least get someone who can. He then leaves.
Okay, I'll be one sec, my mum's calling.
Right. Either way, scene is over. Let's the
I'm gonna be right back then. Before we start the next scene.
I just need to check something. Just quick. What has been done?